Welcome back to lecture 17, problem session 5. This session is based on lecture 14, 15 and 16. In the previous lectures, we have studied limit continuity and differentiability. Today we will solve some questions based on these topics asked in previous year exams of GATE and ES Engineering Services. And we observed that I observed that the question asked on limits mostly in comparison to continuity and differentiability. In the limits, each of the indeterminate form is asked, especially 0 by 0, infinity by infinity, 1 to the power infinity, 0 to the power 0, infinity to the power 0, 0 into infinity and infinity minus infinity. All these are indeterminate form. I have already discussed these forms in lecture 15. So before listening or completing this lecture, I will suggest to everyone, please listen lecture 15 and 16 so you can better understand how I am solving the problem in this lecture. Okay, let's start. The value of limit x tending to 1 x to the power 7 minus 2x to the power 5 plus 1 over x cube minus 3x square plus 2. Limit x tending to 1, 7 minus 2x to the power 5 plus 1 over x cube minus 3x square plus 2. If you apply x equal to 1 in the numerator, you will get 0, and in denominator also you will get 0. So it is a 0 by 0 form. This is the A part of problem 1. In the 0 by 0 form, I told you you can apply L'Hospital method. What is the L'Hospital method? You can differentiate numerator and denominator separately, provided one condition: differentiation must exist. So you can see that in the numerator there is a polynomial of degree 7, and in the denominator there is also a polynomial of degree 3. And in lecture 16, I told you the polynomial functions are differentiable or have derivatives in the entire real line. It means they are differentiable. We can differentiate numerator and denominator separately here with respect to x. So if you differentiate x to the power 7, you will get 7x to the power 6 minus 10x to the power 4, and derivative of 1 will be 0. In the denominator, it will be 3x square minus 6x. Now you put x equal to 1. On putting x equal to 1, you will get 7 minus 10 upon 3 minus 6 equal to 1. You can see that this is not indeterminate form. If it is again indeterminate form, then we again differentiate numerator and denominator separately with respect to x. Separately means we cannot apply the differentiation rule of numerator upon denominator form. We have to differentiate separately numerator and separately denominator. So the answer is 1 here. In this question, answer is 1. C option is correct. In the B part, if you see the limited x tending to 0, x cube minus sin x over x. If you apply limit again, it will be 0 by 0. So it is again question based on L'Hospital. So we can differentiate it. X cube, derivative of x cube is 3x square, and derivative of sin x is cos x, and derivative of x is 1. Now you put the limit. You can see denominator is already 1. It means this will not give you indeterminate form. So we can apply limit directly here. 3 minus 1, 3 into 0, and we put x equal to 0, 0 minus 1 upon 1. So the answer will be minus 1. It means you have options here. What are the options? In the first A part, the answer is 1, and in the second part, answer is minus 1. The second problem is a function f(x) is defined at e to the power x when x is less than 1, and log x plus ax square plus bx when x is greater than 1. Which statement is true? Fx is not differentiable, fx is differentiable, fx is differentiable, fx is differentiable. If you see all the options, it is interested in the differentiability only. Differentiability exist or not at x equal to 1. Why x equal to 1? Because the function is breaking at x equal to 1. And if it is differentiable, then what is the values of a and b? If it is not differentiable, then what is the values of a and b? So take the function is differentiable and use the condition left hand derivative equal to right hand derivative. See what values we are getting of a and b. If you see, the function is break as e to the power x ln x plus ax square plus bx when x is less than 1, when x is greater than 1. I told you in the lecture 16, exponential function, logarithmic functions are also differentiable function in their respective domains. And this is a polynomial function, so it will be differentiable everywhere. Now, what is the domain of exponential functions? See my lecture 14, I told you that domain of exponential functions are every real number, means entire real number. And in the log x, the domain is x greater than 0, where x is greater than equal to 1. It means in this domain, log x will be differentiable. So there is no worry to solve it by the taking a first principle LHD equal to RHD. You can directly differentiate it. So f dash x will be differentiation of e to the power x will be e to the power x when x is less than 1. And derivative of log x will be 1 upon x plus ax square will be 2ax plus b when x is greater than equal to 1. We can differentiate log x here because the log x has a domain x greater than 0, and this is that is superset of this domain. It means the log x can be differentiated here because log x has domain 0 to infinity, and which is superset of 1 to infinity. Means if the function is differentiable in 0 to infinity, then it will be obviously in 1 to infinity. Now, suppose differentiable. Suppose differentiable. We cannot claim differentiable. This is the left hand derivative, this is the right hand derivative. Both are existing here. Now, for the differentiability of the function at x equal to 1, the left hand derivative must be equal to the right hand derivative at x equal to 1. This is telling only the existence of left hand derivative and right hand derivative. Left hand derivative is existing because exponentially function is differentiable in this given domain, and here this function is differentiable in this given domain. Now, for differentiability condition, derivative at the given point we are interested at x equal to 1, it must be left hand derivative must be equal to the right hand derivative. So at x equal to 1, put x equal to 1, don't take any problem, e to the power 1, and put right hand derivative at x equal to 1, it will be 1 plus 2a plus b. So there will be a condition on a and b, 2a plus b is equal to e minus 1. Now, can can we find the values of a and b? Yes. You will think, sir, there is only one equation, but you are searching two unknowns, a and b. No, my friends, there are two equations. The if function is differentiable at x equal to 1, then it must be continuous also x equal to 1. So what is the continuity condition? If any function is differentiable at x equal to 1, then it will be continuous at x equal to 1 also. Means left hand limit at 1 is equal to the right hand limit at 1 equal to the value of function at 1. So you can see this left hand function is left hand limit is existing here because this is a exponential function, and both this function is also continuous in the right hand side because these functions are defined in the given domain. Now put this condition because we are supposing differentiability condition. It means it will be continuous. Obviously, put x equal to 1 in the given function. So it will be e to the power 1 equal to, put x equal to 1 here, log 1 will be 0 plus a plus b. So the second equation in a and b will be a plus b equal to a. If you solve a and b, you will see a equal to minus 1 and b equal to e minus 1. A equal to minus 1 and b equal to e plus 1. It means we are getting the unique values of a and b if the function is differentiable. Now, I want to summarize this question again. Here I am differentiating because this is the left hand derivative because x is less than 1, and this is the right hand derivative because x is greater than 1. Both the functions are defined in the given domain, so we can find the differentiation. So we put the differentiation here. Now we are supposing differentiability at any particular point. So left hand derivative must be equal to the right hand derivative at that point. We are taking x equal to 1, so put x equal to 1. We got one equation in A and B. If we are differentiation at x equal to 1 differentiable function, then it must be continuous at x equal to 1. So we put the continuity condition. We put x equal to 1 in the left hand limit, means when x is less than 1. In the case we put the value x equal to 1 in the given function, the function is exponential. When x is greater than equal to, the function is a log x plus ax square plus bx. Put x equal to 1. We got another equation in A and B, and we find the values of A and B. So fx is a B option. If you see, I'm seeing from D option. Okay, see the D option. What is the D option here? D option is telling fx is differentiable at x equal to 1 for all values. No. Fx is differentiable at x equal to 1 for all values of a and b such that no. We got another equation 2a plus b equal to e minus 1. Fx is differentiable at x equal to 1 for the unique values. Yes, we got the unique values a equal to minus 1 and b equal to e plus 1. Fx is not different. It is not correct. Fx is differentiable for these set of values. So we cannot claim because he is asking for any value, but we got one value. It means this option is not correct. Third question. Third question is I am dividing it in two parts, and remember one result I told you. Limit x tending to infinity, a naught x to the power n plus a1 x to the power n minus 1 plus an upon b naught x to the power m plus b1 x to the power m minus 1 plus bm. See my lecture 15. I have discussed this case in the limits in some results. A naught upon b naught when degree of numerator and denominator is same. It is 0 when the degree of denominator is greater, and it tends to plus infinity or minus infinity when n is greater than m. It depends the sign of a naught and b naught. So please keep in the mind this result will be useful in solving of this problem. So what is the first problem of third A? It is a limit x tending to infinity under root x square plus x minus 1 minus x. If you put x equal to infinity, you will get infinity minus infinity. It is a indeterminate form. And when you got under root or cube root in the such form, then you use the rationalization. Rationalize the numerator here, means what will be the procedure for rationalization here? You just multiply this factor with opposite sign in numerator and denominator. It will be minus plus x. And in the denominator, it will be under root x square plus x minus 1 plus x. Now solve the numerator. A minus b, a plus b. Then it will be a square minus b square upon under root x square plus x minus 1 plus x. X square is cancelled out. Limit x tending to infinity, it will be x minus 1 upon under root x square plus x minus 1 plus x. Now see, this is the case I have discussed. Highest degree in the numerator is 1 and the highest degree is denominator is also 1, because if you take the under root of x square, it will give you degree 1. So the degree of the numerator, highest degree of the numerator is 1 and the degree of denominator is also 1. In that case, I told you limit will be the coefficient of both. So the coefficient of x is 1, and what is the coefficient of x in the denominator? It is giving 1. from, because the coefficient 1x square, then under root will give you 1, and from second term coefficient of x to the power 1 you will get 1 again, it will give you 1 by 2. Or if you are not understanding by this method, you just take common x from numerator and denominator both the side, from both the term numerator and denominator, then it will be 1 plus 1 upon x minus 1, and x square if you take common, then it will take outside, it will give you x, then it will be minus 1 upon x square, and plus x you have taken outside completely, then it will be plus 1. Now x is cancelled out. If you apply x equal to infinity, you will get 1 minus 0 upon 1 plus 1. So the limit will be 1 by 2. You can use the result also, I have discussed previously, or you can use this concept also. So the answer is 1 by 2. This is the correct answer. 1 by 2 is the correct answer. If we take the second part, limit n tending to infinity under root n square plus n minus under root n square plus 1. You put infinity minus infinity. It is again in determinate form. So we can rationalize it as we solved in the previous question. This is a similar problem. So it will give you under root n square plus n plus under root n square plus 1 upon under root n square plus n plus under root n square plus 1. Now you apply a minus b in numerator, a minus b into a plus b, it will give you a square minus b square upon under root n square plus 1 plus under root n square plus n plus 1. N square is cancelled out. The similar question you got here, n minus 1 upon under root n square plus n plus under root n square plus 1. The highest degree in the numerator is 1 and the coefficient is 1. The highest degree in denominator is also 1, but the coefficient is occurring at two places, here also, here also. Here the coefficient of n is 1, here the coefficient of n is 1. N square, but it will outside to the under root, it will be n only, and the coefficient will be 1. So 1 by 2. Another method, you take n common from numerator and denominator both, you will get the answer. So the answer will be for this question is also 1 by 2. The next question is limit x tending to 0. These three questions, these two questions are based on the results I have already discussed. I told you results, limit theta tending to 0 e to the power theta minus 1 upon theta equal to 1. You can see my lecture 15. And I also told you limit theta tending to 0 ln 1 plus theta upon theta equal to 1. In the reciprocal case, limit theta tending to 0, theta upon e to the power theta minus 1 is also 1. Limit theta tending to 0, theta upon ln 1 plus theta is also 1. I have discussed these results in lecture 50. So we will use these results in these problems. So we have 4a. Limit x tending to 0 e to the power 5x minus 1 upon x. We have a square, so we can separate both the factor. And I told you the property, this limit also exists, this limit also exists. By this property we know that. Then we can separate the multiplication. 5x minus 1 upon x into limit x tending to 0 e to the power 5x minus 1 upon x. Fx into gx, then limit can be written as limit x tending to 0 fx into limit x tending to 0 gx. Now if you see, at theta we have 5x, but here I have only x. Please remember, the numbers should be same here. The numbers should be same here. Variables should be same. If theta, then it should be theta. Theta, it should be theta. Theta, it should be theta. And theta should be in the limit also. So what we have to multiply here? e to the power 5x minus 1 multiply by 5 in the denominator, also in the numerator. Then it will give you theta. It will be theta. If x tending to 0, then 5x also tending to 0. We can similarly adjust to the second term. 5x minus 1 upon x into 5x into 5, then it will adjust and it will be limit x tending to 0, 5x also tending to 0. Some people do not multiply with 5 because it is obvious if x tending to 0, then 5x is also tending to 0, but it should be written here. Now if you replace 5x by theta, if you replace theta as a 5x, then it will be limit theta tending to 0 e to the power theta minus 1 upon theta into 5 into limit theta tending to 0 e to the power theta minus 1 upon theta into 5. This limit is 1, you can see. This limit is also 1, you can see. I have already discussed in the question. And 5 is you can take outside, 5 into 5, 25 you can take outside. So the answer will be 25 because we can take constant outside in the limit. I told you limit theta tending to 0, c into f theta can be written as c into limit theta tending to any value f, any value f, theta tending to a f theta. So the answer is for this question is 25. 25 is the correct limit for this question. Now second part. Second part is limit x tending to 0 ln 1 plus 4x base e upon e to the power 3x minus 1. Now remember the result. Result is limit theta tending to 0 ln 1 plus theta upon theta equal to 1 and limit theta tending to 0 theta upon e to the power theta minus 1 equal to also 1. So try to supply theta. How? It is log 1 plus 4x. So give 4x in the denominator. Then you have to multiply in the numerator also. Into, not adjust 3x minus 1. Give theta, what is theta here? 3x. So give 3x also, then divide by 3x also. Here you are dividing, so you have to multiply. Here you are multiplying, so you have to divide. Now it is adjusted. Now you can separate the limit. ln 1 plus 4x upon 4x. If x tending to 0, then 4x obviously tending to 0 into x is cancelled out, 4 by 3. You can take outside also, but we will take in the next step. 3x e to the power 3x minus 1. X tending to 0, so you can make 3x tending to 0. You can make 3x tending to 0. And you can multiply inside limit because this is a multiplication case. And you can multiply in the x with any number because x is tending to 0. So it will multiply by any finite number, it will give to tending to 0. It will tend to 0 only. So this limit is 1. If you put 4x as a theta. This limit is also 1 if you put 3x as theta. Then what will be the correct answer? 4 by 3. So 4 by 3 is the correct answer. 4 by 3 is the correct answer. C option is correct. So please always balance these conditions. Always balance. Then only you can apply the limit. Next question is limit x tending to infinity. Limit x tending to infinity x to the power 1 upon x. Now if you place infinity at x, you will get infinity to the power 0. And infinity to the power 0 is again an indeterminate form. So if any function in the form of limit x tending to a fx to the power g of x, always take log both the side. Even 1 to the power infinity form is also solved by taking log both the side. Therefore, we got the shortcut e to the power limit x tending to a fx minus 1 into dx. But if you don't know the shortcut, the best way is take the log both the side. So it will be log L equal to limit extending to infinity log x to the power 1 upon x. So it will be limit extending to infinity 1 upon x log x. Now see what is the indeterminate form here. So log infinity is tending to infinity, x up and x is infinity also. Remember, log infinity tends to infinity and log 0 tends to minus infinity. Okay. Now, if you see this is infinity by infinity form, so we can apply L'Hospital method. Use L'Hospital. What is L'Hospital? Differentiate numerator and denominator separately. So differentiation of log x will be 1 upon x with respect to x, and differentiation of x will be 1. Now if you apply the limit, because the denominator is 1, so you can apply the limit, it will go to 0 because 1 upon infinity goes to 0. So log L is equal to 0. It means L equal to e to the power 0. E will go in the right hand side. So e to the power 0 is 1. It means limit is 1. So the answer for this question is 1. We have second question similar to this form only. 5b. Limit x tending to infinity 1 plus x squared to the power e to the power minus x. It is in the power e to the power minus x. If you put x equal to infinity, e to the power, and e to the power minus infinity, I told you e to the power infinity tends to infinity, and e to the power minus infinity tends to 0. Remember this? Then it will go to infinity to the power 0. It is again indeterminate form. So it is in the power fx to the power gx form. So best way is tackle is take the log both the sides. So log 1 plus x squared to the power e to the power minus x. So limit x tending to infinity e to the power minus x ln 1 plus x squared. Now try to make in fx upon gx form. It will be e to the power x, because if you apply infinity here, it will give you 0 into infinity, and 0 can be written as 1 upon infinity. Then it will become infinity by infinity form, because 0 can be written as 1 upon infinity. 0 can be written as 1 upon infinity. Then it will be infinity by infinity form, because log infinity is infinity, e to the power infinity is also tending to infinity. And how to tackle infinity by infinity form? Both functions are differentiable, so we can use L'Hospital method. Log 1 plus x square derivative will be 1 upon 1 plus x square, and x square will give you 2x, and derivative of e to the power x will be e to the power x only. Now it will be limit x tending to infinity 2x upon e to the power x 1 plus x square. Now put x equal to infinity, it will be again infinity upon infinity. Means we have to differentiate one more time, and you can see in differentiating one more time the numerator will be free from infinity, because x will be removed after differentiating one more time. So apply L'Hospital again. We can apply L'Hospital up to required order. Apply L'Hospital again. So log L will be limit x tending to infinity, derivative of 2x will be 2. In the numerator, we have to apply first into second, e to the power x, derivative of 1 plus x square will be 2x, and plus 1 plus x square, e to the power x, derivative will be to the power x. If you apply the limit 2 upon e to the power infinity is infinity, infinity. 2 upon infinity will go to 0. So L will be e to the power 0. It means again limit is going to 1. So the answer is C option for this question also. This is the correct answer, C. The next question, both the parts are related to each other. If you see the first question, 6 to the power a, limit x tending to infinity. I have already solved this problem in lecture 15. 1 plus 1 upon x to the power x. If you apply the limit x tending to infinity, it is 1 to the power infinity form. This is not exactly 1, this is approximately 1. And for this form, I told you the shortcut method. It can be written as e to the power x to the power infinity fx minus 1 into gx. What is the shortcut form? Remember the article, I told you limit x tending to a fx to the power gx if in the form of 1 to the power infinity. By taking log, you will get the limit is equal to extending to e to the power extending to e to the power limit extending to a fx minus 1 into gx. And if you compare, fx is 1 plus 1 upon x and gx is x only. So e to the power limit x tending to infinity, 1 is cancelled out, 1 upon x into x, x is also cancelled out, and the limit of e to the power x tending to infinity 1, and I told you the limit of any constant value is always constant, so L will be e to the power 1. So limit will be exponential only. So the E will be the limit for this question. C option is the correct option. If you see the B part of this question, limit x tending to infinity 1 plus 1 upon x to the power mod power 2x. There is no need of mod here because if you have even power, 2 is an even number here, it means there is no need of mod. So 1 plus x to the power x into 1 plus 1 upon x to the power x, because it will be always positive. Is a 2x, we can separately like this, x to the power infinity 1 plus 1 upon x to the power x into limit x tending to infinity 1 plus 1 upon x to the power x. I have already told you this limit is tending to e, it is also tending to e square. From this part, I have solved this question from this part. So the limit will be e square. Or you can apply, this is a 1 to the power infinity form, or you can apply e to the power limit x tending to infinity, fx is 1 plus 1 upon x minus 1 into gx is 2x here. So you will get limit x tending to infinity 2x upon x is 2, it means e square, you will get the limit. So try to read this result, limit the result is limit x tending to infinity 1 plus p upon x to the power x, limit x tending to infinity 1 plus p upon x to the power x. This is a 1 to the power infinity form. The limit is e to the power p. You can use by this result I have discussed in lecture 15, or fx minus 1 into gx concept I told you. In the question 17, if you see problem 7a, limit x tending to 0 minus sin x over 2 sin x plus x cos x. There are two methods for solving this problem. First way is you just take sin x common from the numerator and denominator. If you take the common sin x from denominator, it will give you 2 plus x upon tan x. Okay. Now sin x is cancelled out. It will be limit x tending to 0 minus 1 upon 2 plus x upon tan x. Now you can apply the limit, then it will be minus 1 upon 2 plus, and the limit on this term x tending to 0 x upon tan x, I told you this is 1, so it will give you minus 1 upon 3. I told you limit x tending to 0 x upon tan x is 1 in the lecture 15. We have second method also, second way to solve this problem. What is the second way to solve this problem? Second way, limit x tending to 0 minus sin x upon 2 sin x plus x cos x. This is your 0 by 0 form. If you put x equal to 0, it means you can apply L'Hospital and both all in the numerator trigonometric function, denominator trigonometric and polynomials, and they are differentiable in their respective domains. The derivative of sin x will be minus cos x. it will be 2 cos x, and x cos x derivative will be x sin x, and if you put cos x bar outside, derivative of x will be 1. Now if you apply the limit x equal to 0, it will be give you minus cos 0 upon 2 cos 0 plus cos 0. So it will be minus 1 upon 3. So by L'Hospital, it is very easy problem. In the B part, we have limit x tending to 0, 1 minus cos x square over 2x to the power 4. If you apply x equal to 0, you will get 0 by 0 because cos 0 is 1. So 1 minus 1 is 0 upon 0. 0 by 0, you can directly apply L'Hospital method. So derivative of 1 will be 0 and derivative will be cos is minus sin x. So it will be minus plus sin x square. And derivative of x square will be 2x, and in the denominator will be 8x cubed. Now it can be written as, if you divide 2 by 8, it will be 4 and the x is cancelled out. So it will be sin x square upon 4x square. 4 you can take outside, limit x tending to 0, sin x square upon x square. If x tending to 0, this is your theta, this is your again theta. I told you the limit theta tending to 0, sin theta upon theta equal to 1. So x square here is also x square, and you can make as also x square because x tending to 0, then x square is also tending to 0. So if you replace x square as theta, then it will be limit theta tending to 0, sin theta upon theta. Now this value will be 1, so it will be 1 by 4. Try to make this factor same. Coefficient of sign in the denominator also should be same as the coefficient of sign in the numerator. So 1 by 4 is the correct answer. In the question 8, we have find the values of x for which the function x square minus 3x minus 4 upon x square plus 3x minus 4 is not continuous. In lecture 16, if you see some results and theorems based on the continuity, I told you if a function is written as in the form of f1x upon f2x, if it is written as in the rational function, then it is continuous everywhere except each point with 0, except the denominator is 0. So we have to find those points where denominator is 0. So if you compare f2x is x square plus 3x minus 4, where f2x is 0, find the values of x where f2x is 0 means denominator is 0. So you will get x equal to minus 4 and 1. So at these point function will not be continuous, not continuous. And continuous will be everywhere, every value of real number except minus 4 and 1. Not continuous will be at minus 4 comma 1. There will be only 2 points where this function is not continuous because at this point denominator is not defined. The denominator is 0, so the function is not defined. Denominator is 0, so the function is not defined. In the B part, limit alpha tending to 0, x to the power alpha minus 1 upon alpha. This is your x to the power 0 minus 1 upon 0, so it is 0 by 0 form. Please remember here variable is alpha, and if you want to find the limit, you can apply the L'Hospital rule, but in the application of L'Hospital rule, you have to keep one thing in the mind. You have to differentiate with respect to variable only, and variable is alpha here, so we have to differentiate with respect to alpha only. The differentiation of alpha with respect to alpha will be 1. In the numerator, it will be tackled as a to the power x because variable is in the power. So the derivative will be x to the power alpha log x. Don't do wrong here. Here differentiation will look like a to the power x, a to the power x log a, because treat x as a constant, alpha as variable here. Now put alpha equal to 0, it will give you x to the power 0 log x. So the limit will be log x. So the limit will be log x, means A option is correct. In the 9th problem, limit x tending to infinity, x plus sine x upon x. Very easy problem. If you separate this, this can be written as 1 plus sine x upon x. You can separate the limit also, plus the limit x tending to infinity sine x by x. The constant limit is always constant, and I have discussed the problem, this problem in limit k, in the limit, this limit tends to 0. You see my lecture based on limit 15 lecture, I told you this limit is 0 because as x tending to infinity, this will be 0 into some finite value between -1 to +1. So if you multiply with 0, you will get 0. So the limit will be 1. You can see more discussion on this limit in lecture 15. In the B part, what should be the value of lambda such that the function defined below is continuous at x equal to pi by 2. Function is given to you lambda cos x over pi by 2 minus x when x is not equal to pi by 2, and it is 1 when x equal to pi by 2. We want continuous function, means limit x tending to 1 fx is equal to f1, because function is continuous means limit exists, means LHL equal to RHL. Sorry, at x equal to pi by 2. It means x tending to pi by 2. It should be equal. Limit x tending to pi by 2, fx equal to f at pi by 2. So limit x tending to pi by 2, it is not exactly pi by 2, it is approaching to pi by 2. It means we have to take the function as lambda cos x over pi by 2 minus x. And what is the value of fx at pi by 2? It is 1. Now, if you apply the limit, you can see that this is 0 by 0 because cos pi by 2 is 0 upon pi by 2 minus pi by 2 will be 0. So L hospital, if you apply in the limit, it will give you lambda minus sine x upon 0 minus 1 equal to 1. It is equal to limit only. You have applied L hospital in the limit because this is 0 by 0 case. Now if you apply the limit x equal to pi by 2, minus is cancelled out. It will give you lambda sine pi by 2 equal to 1 because the value of function at pi by 2 is 1 only. So the lambda will be 1 because sine pi by 2 is 1. So lambda will be 1 here. The next question, which of the following function is continuous at x equal to 3? Okay, I am solving from D part. Fx is 1 upon x cube minus 27. You are checked at x equal to pi by 3. X equal to 3, sorry. At x equal to 3, function is not defined, so it cannot be continuous because denominator must not be vanished in the case of rational function, and pi at x equal to 3, the function is tending to infinity, so function is not continuous here. C part, fx equal to x plus 3 when x less than equal to 3 and x minus 4 when x is greater than 3. For the continuity at 3, LHL must be equal to the RHL. Must equal to the RHL. Check 3 plus fx. It will be limit x tending to 3 plus f of 3 plus h. Sorry, we can write like this: x equal to 3 plus fx equal to limit h tending to 0 f of 3 plus h, and it will be 3 plus h means function is x is greater than 3, so function will be x minus 4, means 3 plus h minus 4. It will be limit h tending to 0 minus 1 plus h, h tending to 0, it will go to minus 1. And what is the value at f equal to 3? F equal to 3 if you put, you will get 3 plus 3 because equality sign is here only, then it is 6. So limit is not equal to function, so it is not continuous. C part is also not continuous. Our trick is here. Our trick is here. You put x equal to 3 in the left hand limit, you put x equal to 3 in the right hand limit. You will get 6, and here you will get minus 1. Both are not equal. It means function is not continuous. What about B option, if you see the B option here, B option is fx equal to 4 at x equal to 3 and 8 minus x when x is not equal to 3. Put x equal to 3 in, if you try to find the right hand limit 3 plus fx, okay, try to find it, it will be limit h tending to 0 f of 3 plus h. Here f is not equal to 3, so function will be 8 minus x, means 8 minus 3 plus h. If you apply h equal to 0, it will give you 5. And the function at 3 is equal to 4, which is not equal to the right hand limit or any one of the limit, then function will not be continuous. Because these limits should be equivalent, it should be equal to the function value. And you can see the any of the limit, if it is not equal to the value of function at that point, then function will not be continuous. What about A? What about A part? If you see the A part, fx is given to you 2 if x equal to 3, x minus 1 if x greater than 3, and x plus 3 upon 3 when x is less than 3. I told you trick, by trick only. Put x equal to 3 everywhere. You will get 2. X equal to 3 here. You will get 2. X equal to 3 here. You will get 2. It means LHL, RHL and function value are same. The limit function is continuous at x equal to 3. Or you find 3 plus fx. It will be limit h tending to 0. X is greater than 3. It means function will be x minus 1. So f of 3 plus h will be equal to limit h tending to 0, 3 plus h minus 1, it will give you 2 only. And if you find x less than 3 minus fx, it will give you limit h tending to 0, f of 3 minus h will be limit h tending to 0, 3 minus h plus 3 upon 3 minus h. Because x is less than 3 here, it means we have to take this function. Now if you put h equal to 0, you will get 2. It means this function. The problem 11 is, what is the limit n tending to infinity 1 minus 1 upon n to the power 2n? I already discussed these are type of problem, but again I am going to solve. Limit n tending to infinity 1 minus 1 upon n to the power 2n. If you apply n tending to infinity, it is 1 to the power infinity form. So the direct limit is e to the power n tending to infinity. F is 1 minus 1 up 1 minus 1 upon n minus 1 into zn means 2n. So limit n tending to infinity, it will be minus 1 upon n into 2n. 2 is n is cancelled out, so it will be to the power minus 2. E to the power minus 2 will be the correct answer. We have applied the result 1 to the power infinity form. I have already discussed this result in lecture 15. In the B part, fx is your sine mod x. If you break this function, it will be sine minus x if x is less than equal to 0, and it will be plus sine x if x is greater than 0, because mod x is break like only this. I have discussed in the lecture 14. If you see some prerequisite for calculus module. If you derivate it, it will give you sine minus theta. Now I'm not differentiating here. It will be minus sine x when x is less than equal to 0. It is plus sine x when x is greater than 0. Now if you differentiate it, you will get minus cos x when x is less than equal to 0 and plus cos x when x is greater than 0. And you want derivative at minus 4. and minus 4 will lie in this interval because x is less than equal to 0, then the value of function derivative is minus cos x. So f dash minus 4 will be minus cos minus 4 because x is less than 0 condition is fulfilling by minus pi by 4. Cos minus theta is cos theta, then minus sign it is in the first, then cos minus pi by 4 will be cos pi by 4, but minus will be kept there here only, then it will be minus 1 by 2. So the minus 1 by root 2 will be the correct answer. Question number 12. The function mod 2 minus 3x. I already told you in the lecture 16 how to tackle with mod x minus a. The similar way to tackle here. If a function is mod x minus a, this function is not differentiable where x equal to a, where x minus a is 0. Where this function is 0, that point, that critical point, the function is not differentiable. But continuous it is everywhere, because in the drawing of the graph, we are not picking up my pen. The mod function is continuous but not differentiable where we get the sharp point. If you see this, where it is vanishing, 2 minus 3x equal to 0 means x equal to 2 by 3. Or you can write like this only, mod 3x minus 2. It will not affect. So at x equal to 2 by 3, we are getting, so this is the graph of this function. This is the graph of this function. So at 2 by 3, this function will not be differentiable because we are getting V shape. If you see, we'll get right hand derivative is 1 and right hand derivative is some value as I think 3. It can be break back like this, 3x minus 2 when x is greater than 2 by 3, and it will be minus 3x minus 2 when x is less than or equal to 2 by 3. And if you differentiate this function y dash x, you will get 3, and here you will get minus 3. So the slope will be, here slope will be 3, here slope will be minus 3. Or you can see at this point, this function is not differentiable because right hand limit, you can see the right hand derivative is 3 and left hand derivative is minus 3. So this function is not differentiable at 2 by 3, but it is continuous everywhere. It is, so C option is correct. C option is correct. It is continuous for every x belongs to real number and differentiable for every x belongs to real number except 2 by 3. More you can see in lecture 16. I have discussed how to tackle mod x minus a. Mod x minus a is differentiable everywhere, but except where x minus a is 0, means at x equal to a. So this function is differentiable everywhere except x equal to a. Y dash x exist, and it is continuous for every real value. Is continuous for every real value. We have second part also in this question. The second part is limit x tending to 8 x to the power 1 by 3 minus 2 upon x minus 8. Now if you apply, it is 8. If you apply the limit 8 to the power 1 by 3 minus 2 upon 8 minus 8, it is your 8 power 1 by 3 will give you 2 minus 2 upon 8 minus 8. It is your 0 by 0 case. It means you can apply L'Hospital rule. So it will be 1 by 3 x to the power minus 2 by 3 minus 2 derivative will be 0 and derivative of x will be 1 and derivative 8 will be 0. Now if you apply x equal to 8, 8 to the power minus 2 by 3, so it will be 2 cubed to the power minus 2 by 3. 3 is cancelled out, 1 upon 3, 2 to the power minus 2, 1 upon 3, 1 upon 4. So limit will be 1 upon 12. The next question is limit x tending to pi by 4 cos x minus sin x over x minus pi by 4. If you apply limit, cos pi by 4 is 1 by root 2, sin pi by 4 is also 1 by root 2. 1 by root 2 minus 1 by root 2 will be 0. 1 by root 2 minus 1 by root 2 will be 0. Upon pi by 4 minus pi by 4 will be 0 only. So we can apply L'Hospital here. So L'Hospital will give you differentiation of numerator will be minus sin x minus cos x upon x. The derivative of x will be 1. If you put x equal to pi by 4, it will be minus sin pi by 4 minus cos pi by 4. It will be minus 1 by root 2 minus 1 by root 2. So the correct answer will be minus root 2. And consider the function fx equal to b part. Fx equal to mod x cube, or you can write x square mod x. Mod x cube can be break as mod x square into x, then it can be written as x square into mod x. And I told you in the lecture 16, it is a twice differentiable function, but not thrice. You can see the lecture 16 based on this topic only. I have discussed this problem in detail. So I will refer lecture 16 for this particular problem. Problem 14, limit x tending to 0 e to the power x minus 1 plus x square by 2 upon x cube. If you apply the limit, it will be 0 by 0 form. E to the power 0 is 1, 1 minus 1 is 0. There are two methods. You can apply L'Hospital method or expansion method, because exponential expansion, we know that. L'Hospital method sometimes is very difficult when the power of denominator polynomial is higher. Then you have to differentiate many times. Then expansion method is better method. If I expand the e to the power x, you will get 1 plus x square by 2 plus x cube by factorial 2, x cube by factorial 3, and so on. X to the power 4 by factorial 4, and so on, minus 1 plus x square by 2 upon x cube. So the first three terms are cancelled out. Then it will left x cube. If you take common, then 1 upon factorial 3 plus x upon factorial 4 plus so on upon x cube. X cube is cancelled out. If you put x equal to 0, then another rest term will be 0 except 1 upon factorial 3. It will be 1 by 6. B part is very interesting. Limit x tending to a, x minus a to the power x minus a. This is your 0 to the power 0 case. It is again a indeterminate form. In the power, you have to take log both the side. It will be x minus a. If you take log x minus a, log x minus a to the power x minus a, then x minus a can be taken outside. Here, interesting point is we are willing in the right hand. We are taking when x is greater than a. X is greater than a. We are considering here x is greater than a. Means x a plus only we can find here. Means we can find the right hand limit in this question only. Because in the left hand limit, this function will not be defined. Means we can find only right hand limit in this question. We have to make a plus here. It is not given, so we have to make a plus here, because for a minus, when x is less than a, this function log will not be defined. So in this question we can find only right hand limit. Sometimes it is not given in the question, but it is understood that we are taking a right hand limit because left hand limit will not exist here. So the question should be asked as right hand limit. The right hand limit of this question is asked. Correct this question. This question will be look like x tending to a plus x minus a to the power x minus a. This question will be look like only this. Then if you put a x minus a into log x minus a, if you put x equal to a, it will be 0 into log 0 is minus infinity. So 0 into minus infinity. So we can take 0 in the denominator. So 1 upon x minus a into log x minus a. This can be written as equal, yes, it can be written as equal, then it will be infinity upon infinity. Minus infinity upon infinity or infinity upon infinity, no problem, because minus sign can be taken outside. Then you can apply L'Hospital method for this question. So the derivative of log will be 1 upon x minus a, and derivative of 1 upon x minus a will be minus 1 upon x minus a whole square. So it will be limit extending to a plus minus x minus a. If you put x equal to a, then limit will be 0. So log L will be 0, means L equal to e to the power 0 will be 1. So 1 will be the right hand limit. We cannot find left hand limit here. So the value of limit will be 1. And then the last question is 15a, limit n tending to infinity n upon under root n square plus n. I have already discussed this result. You can see the highest degree is 1, highest degree in denominator is also 1. First method is you can take common n from numerator and denominator. So take n common, n square common, then it will be n will be outside. Now if you cancel n, if you apply n equal to infinity, then it will be 1 plus 0, limit will be 1. And second method, if you take by the coefficient. 15b, fx equal to mod x plus 1. I have already told you it is continuous everywhere, but not differentiable at x equal to minus 1. Where this point is vanishing, this function is vanishing, at that point the function is not differentiable. So in the given domain minus 2 comma 0, in the given domain, the graph of mod x plus 1 will look like this. At minus 1, this is inside this domain. This function is not differentiable. So we can see the A option continuous and differentiable. No, this is not correct answer. A is not correct answer here. What about D, continuous but not different? This is also not correct. Neither continuous. No, it is continuous. Continuous, yes. And on the integer, everywhere it is continuous. So integer is also included because integers are a subset of real number. It means it is continuous at integer but not differentiable at all points. This is correct. It is not differentiable at minus 1. So it is most appropriate answer for this question. Okay, thank you. I am closing here. In the next lecture, we will study Rolle's theorem, mean value theorems, and monotonic functions. Okay, thank you.